Alright, we are the Hebrew Israelites. We're going to be the future kings of the society of this world. But first and foremost, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We get double honor to the elders of Jim Mesh, Tahar, Gabar, Ramlab, Kah, and so forth and so down. The brother with the glasses too. And we want to say salakia to the brothers out there who be watching our videos. We've been having technical difficulties, but let's believe it or not, we've been coming out here sincerely. You know, like Paul say, woe is me if I preach not the gospel. You know, we've been given a dispensation of the gospel, so we have to come out. We've been having a few problems with, you know, Esau's devices, but nonetheless, we still been coming out professing the word, man. You know, but yeah, we back at it. We still at it. And we gonna stay at it. So right now, it's really shit really getting ready to hit the fan, man. All these prophecies in the Bible. Right now, we get to the point that if the Most High don't open your eyes the first round, man, you gonna miss it, man. Cause the Most High looking for His elect. All this church doctrine, all the Jehovah's Witnesses, all this Catholicism, all this Buddhism, all that Quran, all that is false, man. But no other book in the world hold prophecies that the Bible does. So that's why we come out here to proclaim this truth. Because if we didn't know what we was talking about, we wouldn't come out here and make ourselves look like fools. But we do look like fools for Yahweh Shai's sake, man. Get that in 1 Corinthians 1:22, I believe. You believe in the Bible? You believe in God? You know what God means, though? God's up in the Hebrew word Allah, just means power. So if you think about it, the United States government, that's a power. The army is a power, you know. Money is a power. So it's different kind of powers out there. So what kind of God do you believe in, though?
The everlasting God.
The living God? So basically you believe in the God of the Bible. Okay, I hear you on that. Alright. Let me get that from you real quick.
This is 1 Corinthians 1:26. I'm gonna start it. Actually,
go ahead, brother. Whatever you want to start at, whatever you feel comfortable.
24. But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Yahweh Shai, the power of the Heavenly Father, the wisdom of God. Because the foolishness of God is wiser than man, and weakness of God is stronger than man.
Right. So for us to come out here and let our people know on this sign right here, the Negro, Latinos, the Native Americans, that this is not no pseudo black thing. This is a heritage thing. We come out here and let our people know, over here on this sign, these are slave names. These are the names that we were given from the Heavenly Father in the Bible. Let our people know that they are the God's chosen people. And the real Jews of the Bible are the people who consider themselves African American today. So the foolishness of the Most High, people will say this is foolish because we have the knowledge of the Most High is stronger than their strength. You know what?
Verse 21. For after that in wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
So it said the world don't know the Heavenly Father because they lack the wisdom of it. People say that God is an all-loving God, but God didn't love Pharaoh. God drowned Pharaoh and his army. God didn't love the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah. He killed them with fire and brimstone. You know. So with that being said, he's also a man that deals with balance. So that's why you have male and female. That's why you have heaven and earth. That's why you have water and fire. The Most High is all about balance. He even says that he create evil and he create good. So, and with that being said, how can you appreciate the good if you don't know what bad is? If you were taught all good in your life, you know, if your family has kept you from knowing what bad is, once you run into bad, how you gonna deal with it? You know?
It's Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is His delight.
Right. So that's why the Heavenly Father, like I just said, He has a perfect balance in everything. He loves and He hates. He gets angry. He's also happy. You know, there's certain people that He chose, certain people that He just didn't choose. That's how the Heavenly Father truly is. But they don't tell you this in the churches because the churches is a corporation. They're getting money. Straight up, you know, because because the 503c1 charter.
501c3.
I always get that mixed up. The 50, yeah, that's me. The 501c3 charter, that's a tax write-off, man. The government tells them, you go take this course in school. You teach this doctrine only. You get a tax write-off for all the money you collect in your collective plate. You pocket. That's basically what they're doing. They pimping the people. They not telling the people of the time to come. They always talk about a prosperity doctrine, but little do they know that the Bible is a book of lamentations, mourning, and woe. That's why they shy away from the Old Testament. But the Old Testament talks about things that haven't happened yet that's about to happen. Like in the Bible is a book of parables. It's not going to say America in the Bible. It's not going to say Africa.
No, it's not.
You know, but it's going to resemble America as Babylon because of the spirit America gives off. They're going to resemble America as Egypt because the Israelites, the people on this side right here, they was in Egypt in captivity for over 400 years. We in captivity again. Look on the back of the dollar bill, you'll see a pyramid. If you go down to Washington, D.C., they got the obelisk. The obelisk comes from Egypt. If you look at the Washington Monument with Abraham Lincoln sitting in it, they got a monument, a statue just like that over in Egypt with a pharaoh sitting in it.
Yeah. Man, you guys doing a great
All right,
job.
now, man. All right.
This is Sirach, chapter 33, verse 14. Good is set against evil,
Right.
and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and one against another.
Right, like the brother just brought out, man. The good is set against the bad. You know, the godly against the sinner, man.
That's that balance. Man.
Yeah, that's that perfect balance that we're talking about. The Most High loves a just weight. The Most High just not dealing with all love, man. The Heavenly Father gonna bring judgment to America. He's gonna bring judgment to the world, but the judgment he's gonna bring is not gonna be beautiful for those who don't know, man. So the Heavenly Father only loves Israel and he hates Esau. The Heavenly Father didn't say he hated Elon. The Heavenly Father didn't say that he hated him. The Heavenly Father never said that he hated Moab. He said he hated Esau. And these dumbass going down the wrong road, man. Hey, man, that's how you know this is Babylon, man. This is the place of confusion, man. Babylon is the place of confusion. That's the second time in 20 minutes we're going to see two people go down a one way in the opposite way, man. That's a sign America's finished, man. This is Babylon, man. People walking around dead out here. We don't know what the hell going on. Wickedness, bro. You see that? Yeah, I see that, man. Lost, man.
Only in America, bro.
Only in America, man. If the people love America, man. They love America.
That's how you know, man, this place is fucked up because, you know, the other countries, what? As soon as you born, straight to work. If you're old enough to work, you go straight to work. That's what they work. That's the true way of life, man.
Right.
Working, going out in the fields, and getting you a family, man.
Son, man.
Getting you a field and be a workman, man.
You're right, brother.
You know, that's the main point of the man. Yeah, you know, and you know, I'm just speaking, you know, in general. Now the main purpose is to serve the Heavenly Father, you know, and keep His commandments, fear Him, according to Ecclesiastes 12. But I'm saying, like, that's the whole duty, man. You know, that's the whole way of life, man. You wake up, you do your work, you plant your vineyard. Why? So you can receive the fruit that you know that it brings forth. And you know, and you take care of your family. You have kids, and you wake up. You wake up and do it all over again.
Right.
You know, that's the duty. But over here in America, what? You listen to music. You got faggots riding around screaming songs. You worrying about all this other shit. You're not even thinking about being a man.
Gone.
You're not thinking about being a man. You're thinking about doing all kind of wicked ass shit, man. So that's why America, and then like for the armies over in the other countries, as soon as you born, as soon as you 12 years old, you a man, you start training for war if you're gonna be a soldier. But here, you gotta wait till you 17, 18 years old. You do 6 months of training, or then you're a warrior. Well, you got people that's been training since they was 12 years old to be a warrior, but over in America, you do 6 months of training, then you're a warrior. You know what I mean? This place is just,
Yeah,
it's all fucked up.
Yeah, you know what they are? They GIs. They general fucking idiots, man. So how the hell you gonna go to battle against somebody from their adolescence when their young teenage years been trained to be a warrior, like Ox say, and then you go, and then on top of that, your diet is not nowhere near their diet anyway. You eat abominable food.
GMOs, they eating pure.
Yeah.
I'm GMO, fucking cows, all
Right.
that shit, man. They getting pure shit. But
Lambs.
now it's kind of flipped around because what? Esau is sending them pesticides over there to those third world countries.
Right.
Now they starting to use Esau techniques of cultivating their crops and shit. You know, that's that wine.
You got a point.
That's that wine.
Yeah,
You know, that
they
wine,
drunk it.
that philosophy, man, that the ways of America, they taking on the ways of America now, man. You know, so you know, just speaking on that, man.
Nah, but the brother right though, man. Because the whole duty of life is to work. That's what the word husband means. Husbandry means to work. Okay? Right here. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 15. Hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry which the Most High has ordained. So you're supposed to work. But that doesn't mean to become a slave to another nation if you're an Israelite. Because when you wake up and you punch in on your clock for Esau, that's not work, that's slavery.
Because you're not working for yourself.
No, or the Heavenly Father.
Yeah, you working for another man.
So the work that you're supposed to be doing is what we're doing out here right now. This is the truth. This is that genuine work, man.
Because when you work for yourself, you receive every penny, every dime.
Right.
But when you work for somebody else, you got to pay taxes. And you're not getting paid, and you're not receiving these demons under subjection.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not getting paid, and you're not receiving every you know, all your labor. Your labor's worth when you're working for somebody else. But if I was to plant my own farm and go out and till the ground and bring forth fruit, I'm receiving every bit of my labor.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when I go work for Esau, he's taking part of my labor, and he's not going to pay me the same day that of my labor, which you're supposed to do, and he's not going to pay me in the real currency. He's going to pay me in paper. He's supposed to pay me in gold.
That's yeah. Everything you said is
fake ass
right.
money.
That's
You're not giving me no real money. You're supposed to pay me in gold when I'm done doing my labor for that day. You know?
You're right, because the Federal Reserve note is fiat money. It's a fiat commodity. It's fiat, meaning that it's only backed by regulation and law. It's not backed by any really real natural resources, which is why they say the American dollar is backed up by the petrodollar. But a real fiat with commodity would have to be something like the brother say, gold or silver, you know, or nickel or something. Because a real commodity in ancient times used to trade off livestock, or you'll trade your daughter off. You give your daughter off to be betrothed to another man, and he'll have to pay you 30 shekels of silver. Or he'll have to labor for you for seven years, like Jacob did for Rachel and Leah. You know? So like the brother was saying, man, we working for the so-called white man. We in slavery. Jake happy to be in slavery. Doesn't not it say is Israel a homeborn slave?
That's why fucking me and Ephraim down there got into a fight last night at the job, man, because this motherfucker, he want to work another department work. For the frozen food, you got 3 departments come on our truck. They put the seafood on our truck.
Yeah, you're right. I used to work. Yeah, I remember that.
They put the seafood on our truck. They put the bakery on our truck, and they put the jelly on our truck.
Right.
And it's like in the meat department. So Ephraim, you know, and our job is to separate it, downstack it, and take our freight, separate their freight, put their freight in their cooler, and run our freight. That's on the pallet. Ephraim want to start running meat department freight.
Why would you do that?
Then what? Then they gonna make it your job to run their freight, just like the seafood. The seafood wasn't our job, but what? They started volunteer to run seafood. Now what? It's not meat department's job no more. It's our job to run seafood. Because why y'all volunteer to do it? Now he want to run meat department. What? Now you gonna give us another department to do? So me and Ephraim hot. I got mad. I'm like, man, what the fuck you doing? You trying to make all this work for us? Ephraim, you know what Ephraim told me?
What?
After we down there got into a fight, I came back and apologized to him. You know, that's my brother, man. You know, Ephraim, man. I love my people, man. Like, damn, Ephraim, why you doing all this work, man? You know, they don't pay us shit. And he's like, I'm sorry, Poppy. You know, I like to work.
Hey.
I said, you like to work? I said, man. That's why he said Israel's a homeborn slave, man. You like to work? Motherfucker, we kings, man. You like to work?
I'm sorry, Poppy, I like to work. So you mean to tell me you don't like to work, you like to slave, man.
What the fuck is wrong with, man? I'm like, man, look here, bro. I come in and do just enough to get by. They don't pay us shit anyway.
They don't pay you shit anyhow.
So what are you coming here just fucking busting your shit for, man? Like, I was like, damn. Ethan told me he like to work.
But it go back to Jose when it said Ephraim is like a silly dove. That's just foolishness, man. Don't get me wrong. I'm a man.